anywhere correctly. But anyways, introducing our players here, spawning in the top right hand side of Yonsu. It is going to be the not pink, but teal Zerg player, playing for VP BenQ. It is sLivko.
And in the bottom left-hand corner, spawning for Russian something Warhammer clan, it's Universe of Warhammer in Russian is obviously letters backwards. Spawning as the red Protoss player in the bottom left-hand corner is Avatar. Now, I just want to say I like this split tile set thing with its like, one's frost and one's grass. But I don't like the grass tile set in particular because it looks really old. Like, doesn't it make it look like, Warhammer's kind of like, Warcraft 3 like days kind of technology.
You mean the texture itself?
Yeah, the texture. It just looks kind of like old, if that makes any sense.
It definitely looks like my grandma's lawn that I
thoroughly
had to mow today.
Yeah,
but
it's certainly well kept grass for being on a battle zone, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But still, you might be a little bit right there because the textures are not really top notch. I don't know what graphics settings you're playing, but I still think it looks decent on ultra settings.
No, I'm on ultra and I just don't like it. Maybe it's just me. Like, it looks like it's fine, but I don't know, there's just something about it that... Maybe it's Warcraft 3. I think it specifically feels like it's a Warcraft 3 texture.
Anyways, to get back to the game here, on the Protoss side of things, we see a pretty standard gateway expansion here out of Avatar. And he's already taking double gas. Pretty... not really a usual thing to do, but you definitely can do it. Usually you play a gateway expansion with only one gas. But if you take that quick of a double gas, you usually plan on taking just a little bit, but eventually you will also throw on your next. On the other end, we see a standard hatch first expansion with a pool followed up by a gas. So yep, also nothing really extraordinary.
Definitely not. There's a lot of Protoss builds that are 2 gas because 4 probes, blah blah blah. As I've gone over before 100 times. But yeah, we're not seeing a gateway expand. Choosing to put down the cyber first, which is becoming more and more prevalent. With the recent finals, we saw this this kind of like guarantee of tech push first and then taking the expansion. It's a little bit safer. But that's the way I prefer to play anyway, just because I don't want to be left behind in terms of tech. And if he's not Ling rushing, then you're much safer.
Anyways, also Avatar is now going to throw down his gateway, not gateway, but Nexus. Overall, I think it's a pretty standard timing. Also getting his mothership core, that's probably why he took that quick double gas here. Is also now starting to saturate it fully. Before that he was only saturating it with 4 probes in it. But now he switched it. Of course, after getting that Nexus, he won't really need all that many minerals. So switching into that is definitely a sensible decision.
Yep, mothership cores out, and yeah, our Protoss player has not scouted yet. From what I can see, he's throwing down that pylon behind the minerals. Probably going to hide some tech back there, and we'll see what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's definitely
speed on the way.
That's definitely a very brave opening. I mean, since Yonsu is also a 2-player map, you definitely can just play that opening in the dark because you know where your opponent is, so you do not have to scout to know your opponent's location because it's fixed. But still, it's very, very brave just because the Zerg player could go for any sorts of all-ins or maybe aggressive openings here. And basically Avatar would have had no clue of that if something like that would have happened here.
Yeah, exactly. And we do have these rocks at the natural expansion that are very easy for Lings to bust through very early on without some range DPS, which most Protoss players generally skip. And if you get a Zealot, you've got to get him all the way around there, and can be a bit of a nightmare. But the wall off is now made, and we do see a quick third and a lot of Lings coming across the field from our Zerg player.
Yeah, absolutely. Already, I think it was like 8 Lings or so. Or maybe even 10. I can't count. So maybe he's trying on working here on the rocks, or maybe also just gonna go for the wall in here. But with that sentry here, he definitely will not get through. But look at the production tab. We already see a Dark Shrine here. And that is a very, very quick Dark Shrine here out of Avatar. Pretty much directly rushed for it. And as it is right now, I don't think that sLivko has any clue of that.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely not. With that Stalker patrolling the base fairly effectively, he's managed to push all of those Overlords back so he doesn't get the scout off. But at the same time, that should be a warning to our Zerg that something is going down, that he so effectively pushed all of those Overlords out of the base, making sure that whatever he is doing is being hidden.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe sLivko is already a little bit suspicious, but as it is right now, he's not really planning on getting any anti-DT structures such as Spore Crawlers or Overseers. He's just gonna drone up until maybe 65, maybe even 70, also now starting his Roach Warren. So might look for a Roach Hydro Discomposition in the mid-game.
We do have two DTs that have been warped in base by the Protoss player. He's running them down the left-hand side of the base. There is no detection as yet, and we're not even we're quite a ways away from it, I'm afraid, for the Zerg player. So these DTs are going to get into this, into the natural, and this is the third, sorry, and start doing some serious DPS. Oh, it is the natural, sorry. This map is really confusing.
Yeah, of course, if you've not cast it before, but also those DTs are already starting to do a lot of damage, and only we now see one Spore Crawler going down, and that is in the third base location, so that definitely won't help the situation here for sLivko. And he's already taking so many losses. Eventually 2 Overseers are started here, but it might already be a little bit too late here for the Zerg player. He already took a lot of losses here. Already 13 workers have been killed in the process, and he just lost so much mining time. Eventually those DTs will get cleaned off, but they'll at what cost?
Yeah, 13 workers apparently, and probably a few other units mixed in there. We do see 22 workers. Well, was that units or workers? I can't remember the keys.
It's actually 20.
Yeah, workers, sorry,
22. Yeah.
That escalated quickly. So yeah, we do see Immortals coming down. He spotted that Roach Warren while he was up there with the DT, so this is a really nice answer. 2 more Zealots and a DT being warped into the Warp Prism in the right-hand side of the base, and there's a DT going to town on the fourth expansion.
It's a fourth, yeah.
Of the Zerg player, yeah. Yeah, my counting is terrible today.
Anyways, Warp Prism will get spotted though by sLivko, so that's nice for him. He already knows that there is heading someone or something to his main. Already getting the Overseer in position, of course. Avatar sees that and will pull back and is now going to drop into the third base location. So far that's not really too much defense is going on right there. The Queen eventually might go down if he doesn't pull it back. He saves it. Also the DTs will get picked up once again by the Warp Prism, so not too much damage done. But the important thing is sLivko is now still sitting at almost 4 bases, 3 saturated of them. And Avatar is pretty much still trapped on his 2-base economy. It might now work on the 2-base all in here.
Yeah, definitely with this Warp Prism also keeping the Zerg player on the defensive. He's not going to take too much economic damage as he builds up towards this critical mass of robo units. And now more gateways coming online. He's going to hit a really nice timing here, and he's on his upgrades are pretty good with the Zerg player at 0-0. And our Protoss player is now getting +2 upgrades, another Warp Prism for some reason.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's definitely planning on going for the 2-base all in. And I think sLivko already knows that because he basically has linked set up at the potential 3rd base locations of Avatar. And therefore, of course, he already started building a lot of units here. Take a look at the army supplies, currently 50 to 100 in favor of sLivko here. Also already delaying the push a lot by collapsing those destructible debris here, and therefore will once again slow down Avatar a little bit. Eventually, of course, they will breach, but now already sLivko is setting up a very, very nice concave here to be able to deal with that upcoming push here.
Yeah, there's definitely quite a lot of roaches on the field. These Immortals will do some really nice work to those roaches, but will he be able to punch through? There is an Archon in there as well, which is really nice, but I don't think it'll be enough unless he gets a nice engagement in this choke.
Yeah, absolutely, but he has to be careful. Force fields go down, they definitely work out quite nicely. Also, there's a DT currently taking out that 4th base of sLivko, so that's also not really bad for Avatar, but his army is just not big enough, I have to think. And now also the roaches will stream in from all the sides. There are no more force fields left here. It is not looking good for the red Protoss player here, but I think with those time locks, the roaches on the top will be slowed down enough to be able to, or for Avatar to maybe even make this working. But now the roaches actually got to the close to these Immortals. They will eventually be picked up here by the Warp Prism, but the push definitely has been held, or at least delayed.
Yeah, definitely. There was no warp-in reinforcements at all there. Both the Warp Prisms were sitting above the army and nothing was getting done. The roaches are going to chase all of these stalkers down and another group coming from the other side. Some of the forces being blinked up onto the ridge.
Yeah, that's a very nice move out of Avatar that will buy him a lot of time until those roaches can swing around. And also there are more warp-ins at the third base here, so he's definitely doing a nice job at pulling sLivko apart. But I think it's just not gonna be enough, even though he's doing actually a quite nice job here getting back into the game. But with no... Oh yeah, absolutely. He just... the voice in my head tells me that... that apparently Avatar actually took out all the overseers, and therefore DTs are now definitely once again a viable option. He is also now trying to take out that layer, but eventually that one will get saved. But there are still... Oh no, that's changelings.
There's still 44 roaches on the field compared to 5 stalkers, 1 immortal, and a DT. He doesn't have the gateways to finish this up, I'm afraid. The minute that sLivko feels at all comfortable, he's gonna crush him, basically.
Yeah,
he's too economically ahead.
I mean, still, Avatar was doing a pretty nice job at actually making the most out of those units, but it was just not enough. He once again will actually deny that layer here, so that's once again a very nice winner for him, and actually is now bringing down sLivko to a 2-base economy, which is not really the worst. I have to be quite honest with you there, but just look at sLivko's army. He has so many roaches currently, 52 roaches. And there are only 3 immortals and 3 stalkers on the other end for Avatar to be able to deal with that, and I think that's just not gonna happen. That third base will definitely have to be cancelled. And also the roaches are now free to stream into that natural, and I think sLivko is now looking to take out that game.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be able to push up this ramp very quickly and come from the other side as well. Take out the buildings, even leaving some roaches accidentally behind, but there's even more coming across the field. This is basically over. There's 50 roaches. They are dying quickly to those immortals, but they will eventually get to them and kill them. And here they come.
Yeah, roaches are streaming into the natural from all possible sides. Still, Avatar is doing a nice job of all those immortals, but it is just not enough. Look at all the reinforcements, but once again, warp-ins in the main here of sLivko, so he's definitely once again doing a nice job here at making the most out of that what he has. But with losing his natural base there and also eventually losing his bird base, it is just not looking too hot here for Avatar. Even though I still have to once again mention that he's doing a pretty nice job at harassing his opponent.
He's definitely done a great job at counter-attacking at the right time, but I think it's just a matter of knowing when you're basically done for. He's managed to kill the natural, quite a lot of tech buildings, the robo, a couple of gateways, pylons. He's destroyed quite a few probes there. 25 probes went down there. 34 workers have gone down for the Zerg player, but for the Protoss player now. But yeah, it's definitely in the favor of our Zerg player.
Yeah, third base goes down here for Avatar once again, and
there it is.
Not even a GG, and sLivko advances into the next round. Very well played there by the Zerg player.